Did 2025 deliver what you expected? And are you truly ready to enter 2026 with purpose? That's the question.
That's a good question.
It's a great question, and I love today's topic. Is, this really is not about goals on paper. This is about alignment. This is about awareness, and it's about ownership. What we're going to do today is we're going to break down into three simple but yet powerful sections. Number one, reflection. Are you really ready as 2025 ends? Acceleration, the raise of AI and the new pace of this world. And thirdly, game plan. How to enter into 2026 with clarity, intention, and a real strategy. So get ready. Whatever you take notes with, let's take some notes. And with that being said, let's huddle up. Welcome to Huddle for Success. I'm your host, Duane Gibbs. Alongside of me, my partner, Mark Bruce, where we come to you every Monday with our Huddle Up session, our podcast. If you haven't in the past, like, share, and leave a comment. We love your comments. And with that being said, let's huddle up. Good morning.
How you doing, Dwayne?
Good, 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 good. Today's topic, I think it's meaningful because, you know, we find people that just are not ready to start the new year before the previous year ends. We're already thinking first quarter, second quarter for our business for 2026, and we're still in 2025. And I think a lot of people, who we talk to, no matter what kind of business they own, oh, I got to get through this year first. I think people are missing the boat, and I think that's why today's conversation is going to help people get more in line with what they need to focus on for 2026, and then start wrapping up 2025 now.
Absolutely, because yeah, I I suffered with this a lot when I was a young entrepreneur. I started my tax planning for I would start my tax planning for 2025 in like March or April of 2026. Well, you can't do anything then.
Yeah.
So you do need to look back. You need to look back and see what you've done for 2025 and yet do it. And we'll get to this in the third section is look out at what's coming and what you need to focus on your long-term goals. That's where you really need to focus. So, um, you know, are you where the question we ask a lot of ourselves and of our clients is, are you where you imagined you'd be 5 years ago?
So this is going to be reflection number one.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Um,
Segment one in reflection.
yeah.
Yes.
Look back and see, did you have how did you do on your goals? Are they even the same goals? That's always a good one because, your long-term your long-term goal hopefully is the same. But you've probably zigged and zagged a little bit, and that's okay because you've learned things. Every time you take another step, every time you get a little bit further along, you become more aware of, okay, I can see the next step, and it's a little different than I thought it was going to be, but honestly, I need to take that next step.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right because we see this every single day with people that we talk to. They work hard, they show up, they wanted the result, but at the end of the day, they're running a race without a roadmap, or they're carrying out an outdated playbook, something that just did not fully align with the strategies that they were hoping to get. And we tell people all the time, reflection isn't optional, it's required. You
Absolutely.
can't elevate your business and elevate your life. You can't evolve into something else unless you don't truly have a plan. And that's with the fast pace of AI, that's with social media, that's with so many people out there doing the same business that you're doing. So before we talk about 2026, before we talk about AI, before we talk about, acceleration, we really need to ask the uncomfortable question. Where did you fall short?
Absolutely.
What did I avoid? What distracted me? What worked better than I expected? What did I learn about this year about myself? Reflection is not about judgment, it's about direction. And it's about the direction that you need to look at all those questions and start analyzing some of that. Not analyze it to death, but you owe it to yourself and to your business to ask those questions. Because if not, then you're not reflecting back, and there's no way that you can make a change if not.
Yeah, you've got to answer those questions truly honestly. It's weird because as you were talking about this, it's like, man, my first job out of college was at a radio station, and I was with my economics degree, I became a recording engineer where I recorded commercials. But my favorite part of the job is during football season, every Monday night, we went to Johnny Unitas's Golden Arm restaurant,
Hmm.
and we did the Monday morning quarterback. And we looked back at how the team did the day before. And every sports team does that. After every game, you go back and you look and you see, how did I do? Did what worked? What falls short? What did we avoid? What distracted us? You ask, sports teams even ask all those great questions. So, you know, by asking them and then answering them, then it makes you sharper. It makes you more creative. It makes you more effective. You can scale better. Most people are still afraid to truly ask those questions.
Hmm.
You can't be afraid to ask those questions. You've got to do it truthfully. And that you just got to be honest with yourself.
No question. Segment two was about acceleration. Are you using AI or getting left behind? We talk about AI all the time about, you know, you have to be on board, and everything that you and I watch with all the guys that are way further down the road in AI, beyond where we are in using it. I mean, we bring our experience of 70 years combined, which is awesome. The people that we talk to, they feel like they're really getting real life situations from what we do. But we use AI to be relevant in today's marketplace because you have to. We use it for a lot of different ideas. What are we missing? So it's not like we're depending on it, but we use it to accelerate our business. And so now you're going to have to shift gears because 2025 wasn't just about a year of, it just wasn't another year. It was a year where AI skyrocketed at a pace nobody really expected. I think, it was talked about. We knew that it was going to happen, but just like the cell phone. Boy, oh boy, every time you turn around, there's a new addition to Apple. Two, three, four, five, six. A buddy of mine bought a brand new Apple phone, and it was supposed to be the latest, greatest one. A week later, he saw a commercial on TV, and it was already one gen above what he had. So it was like I told the sales guy to give me the newest one that's out. Next thing I know, there's another one, and so. Um,
Yeah.
we just have to, if you're not leveraging AI in your business, or in personal growth, your creativity, it's going to leave you behind. And you and I talk about that. I mean, you have to use it. It's just, even though you don't want to, it's really needed. And so this is about enhancing what you're doing. It's making you sharper. It's making you more creative. It's making you more effective. It's making you more scalable. And most people are still afraid of it. And hey, listen, so we were too when we started using it. We knew we wanted to be real. We knew we wanted to, we really felt, and all that we put into AI, we talk about, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. And we always get back exactly what we know. Yes, we're on the right track, but using AI helps us to be more creative. And so it's going to take some time. And it's just something that you have to learn. But the truth is AI isn't the threat. Staying the same is.
That you are so right on that one. Staying the same and not growing in today's age. Uh, Hopefully, our listeners aren't too young to remember. I mean, I remember when I'm going to Google that. And
Yeah.
Google was going to answer everything for us, and how powerful Google, I'm going to Google the answer. And I was talking to a tax attorney once who was part of one of my mastermind partners, and I asked him a question, and he's like, "Well, wait a second," and he asked Google, and he goes to Google for the answer. I was like, "No, I asked you,"
Yeah.
and it was terrifying. But AI is making Ask Google seem like first grade stuff. And this is college development stuff, because AI has the ability to put all that information out there. And don't get me wrong, I am still terrified of AI. I watched the Terminator movies, and I know what can happen if AI got, I know you didn't, but I Arnold will be back. So
He's here. He's
yeah,
here.
yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, you've got to use AI. You've got to grow. You've got to. It will help you become smarter. You'll be faster. You'll be quicker. You'll be able to move. And AI can be a great assistant. It's not going to replace you. It will never replace you, but it can be like having your own personal assistant just helping you right there.
Yeah, exactly. And what I want everybody that's listening, if you can, that's sitting here and listening to this, ask yourself this question. Are you using AI to its fullest capacity? Or are you using AI like a novelty? Because the ones who are embracing it, they are moving faster, they're thinking bigger, they're producing more. They're being able to scale the business, they're being able to free up time. And every single individual that I have talked to and asked them, we pose the question, what is it that you really want? And it can't be money. And most of the generation that we work with are from 40 to 65, 70. Every one of them says we want more time. Everybody wants one more time. And that's something that you can't buy. But yet using AI can free that time up. And they're building momentum. The ones who avoid it still feel overwhelmed. They're stuck in a 60-hour work week. They're trying to win today with yesterday's tools. And the gap between the AI embracers and the AI resistors. And the ones that are embracing it are winning. So in 2026, you know, don't pretend that you're using it. Just really try and use it. Make a goal with yourself and say, you know what? As much as I don't want to, listen, we didn't want to accept the phone. We didn't want to accept
The
I,
car,
yeah, what's that?
the car over the horse and buggy.
Yeah, you didn't want a microwave. I mean, it's funny because yesterday, yesterday, uh, Diana and I were talking, and I sent her some videos that came up on my phone about life in the 70s and the 80s. And it was a reflection back of talking about a cigarette machine or an easy bake oven or
The
about
payphone.
having the payphone
Yeah.
or yes. So all of these. And so we kind of were reminiscing. Oh, yes. My grandmother had that, or they had a little candy that looked like a strawberry that was wrapped up and said the only person that had this was your grandmother. Or, as kids, we would it talked about in the early 80s talked about what was the big thing that everybody wanted, and it was mid 70s, early 80s, and it was the answering machine where it had the little micro
Cassette tape.
cassette tapes that went in there, and it was funny. So it was a commercial that said, "Everybody this year is really dialing into Radio Shack and buying an answering machine." It had and it said this one was an upgraded model. It was a little bit more expensive, so where once the one cassette ran out, it went over to the other one, and her and I just we just laughed and said, "Oh my goodness, we couldn't afford one," but they were out. That was the thing. And then it talked about how people wanted, the a VCR. And then a VCR you could record, and then you could go to a disc, a DVD, and then on and on and on. So my point is AI is here. Don't resist it. Try and put on your list this year of that you'll embrace it and you'll try and learn from it because listen, it's a powerful tool and it's a helpful tool. It's not to replace employees like what Mark was saying, but it's able to help you scale your business and be more creative.
Yeah, it's funny. You ask, are you using AI for its full potential or are you just using it as a novelty? Well, when ChatGPT first came out, my nephew had just moved to Florida with his three kids, and it was coming around the holiday time, and I was like, would you, ChatGPT, would you write a Christmas greeting in the tone of Dr. Seuss for my niece that likes to ride horses? And I hit enter, and it's like, oh my gosh, Dr. Seuss wrote me a Christmas card for this for my.
About that.
So you can play around with it that way, but that was 5 years, however many years ago, Chat. That was when Chat first came out.
Hmm.
And I will tell you, it's gotten way better since, and you can use it for lawyers are going to go out of business. Accountants are, I mean, you may not need a lawyer before too long, except to represent you if you needed to be represented live. I was asking some things that even I was told by the police weren't true, but Maryland legal code the other day. Anyway,
Mm.
so all right, so we've reflected on 2025. We've got that done. We understand acceleration and how AI is going to help us and how you need to grow during this time and don't be left behind in the horse and buggy. So let's talk about a game plan for 2026.
Mm.
Because we're entering the new year, it's time to, we've got just a little bit of time before 2026 comes here. So let's get clear. Let's do something simple and powerful. So
Yes.
audit where you are. What did 2025 teach you? What did we learn from last year? What worked? What failed? What did you avoid because of fear?
Hmm.
Is there
Good
something that you
question.
just didn't pull the trigger on? And, where did you thrive? This is the baseline. This is where you're starting. You always
I
got to
love
know where you're starting. Now let's define the vision for 2026. That's
it.
step number two. It's not a New Year's resolution. This is not something that we're going to just casually throw out. And it's got to be a worthy ideal. It's got to be something that you truly, truly want. And you want it so bad that when things get hard, you don't say, I'm not going to go to the gym today.
Hmm.
So make sure it's a worthy ideal.
I
It's a
love it.
vision that stretches you. It's something you've never done before because you know how, if you've done it before, you know how to do it.
Mm.
That's just a matter of willpower. That's not what a true worthy ideal is. It's got to be something that truly excites you. Are you willing to pursue this for a solid 12 months and work on it and work hard at it?
Oh, those are great questions. I mean, I love it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
So this is what I would recommend: setting a metrics and a milestone for yourself. Break 2026 into first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, then monthly goals, then weekly commitments and micro wins. Once you start seeing success happen, we like doing micro wins. I know that we talk about big goal. It's great to have a vision for the end result and a big goal, but I, I know myself. I always keep that big goal, in front of me that I can always see as we talk about our cards all the time. You know, we talk about writing our goals down. But if I don't have many wins along the way, I feel like I'm being defeated. And so you have to have micro wins each and every week. So identify where AI will live in your business. If not, where, content, client acquisition, productivity, research, customer experience, strategies, automation, creativity. Pick an area and start there and build habits around that.
Yep, absolutely. Because, all right, back you when you said the micro wins part, it's like I heard a quote the other day: "The purpose never changes, but the plan can."
Yeah.
It's like going into halftime. You've been losing, the plays aren't working, and you still want to win the game. Winning the game is the goal, but you can take a different path and you can run different plays. So that's what we're talking about here. So in the implementation of the plan, um, you want to ask yourself a few questions. What do I need to finish before the end of 2025 to
Mhm.
get me on the good footing? And what do I need to start before January comes so that I get a head start on 2026? Most people waste December, and it's easy. And it's easy. There's a lot to do, family stuff, the holidays, but set schedule some blocks of time in December to plan for January. It's so important. It can launch you to the limit.
I mean, we started talking about 2026. We're in December right now. Well, November. Probably back in realistically August, beginning of September.
Yep.
We were talking about 2026 first quarter, beginning of second quarter, what all that looks like with having our 90-minute free webinars and our 3-day event that we're having and all of that. So we've already had to start planning that this year, months ago.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No, that's that.
it was a good point that you brought up.
No, absolutely. You've got, I mean, planning, my, the 5 P's, proper, proper planning produces, I forget. I'm gonna have to go back. My dad had the 5 P's. Prior proper planning produces
Purpose.
performance. I'm
I
losing the
don't
last
know.
one. It'll come. It will
Trying
come.
to help you.
I need to stand up and sit down, stimulate my brain so that I can remember it, but I will get there. So anyway, um, the next thing that we really want to talk about is your identity really has to evolve in this day and age. Things are evolving so fast. If you're not growing, you're staying the same. You're gonna be walking down the street looking for a payphone.
Mm,
It's you've just got to continue to evolve. Study is the best way to do that. If you're going to shift something in your life, your business, your finances, your relationship, you know, focus on that goal. You've got to evolve. If yeah, my grandfather was a farmer, it's either getting riper or it's rotten, and you
mm.
don't want to be the thing that's rotten.
That's right.
Yeah,
Love it.
2026 isn't going to wait for you. So,
No. So this is what I would say today, let's talk this through um in wrapping it up. And so reflection, where are you as 2025 closes? Acceleration. Are you truly using AI, or is the fear holding you back? And the game plan, what you must do now into 2026. What must you do uh, for purpose, clarity, and power? And if this episode hit home for you, then we're grateful for that. We hope that what we bring to the table each and every week makes you think. Listen, a lot of this stuff it's not revolutionizing. You're hearing it. It's really to create an awareness, and we really bring these topics because number one, we're dealing with it, and number two, we know how powerful it is when we share this with our clients. So if you haven't already, go to huddleforsuccess.com and download your free playbook for life. Great reviews, great information in there, and that could be a stepping stone for your goals, your vision, and your next step into 2026. With that being said, hey, we appreciate you, the listener, tuning in each and every week for Huddle for Success. Join us again every Monday as we bring a new episode to you. Also, join us every Wednesday and Friday as we do a huddle up session where it's a quick mindful thought, lasts anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And so, with that being said, get ready for 2026, plan it, embrace it, and we wish you nothing but great success. With that being said, stay huddled up.